I asked CEO Brad Garlinghouse to explain what XRP actually is and how it all works. Listen in.
XRP is like a Bitcoin. It's a digital asset. It's today the third most valuable digital asset. And what we do is we take a transaction between banks, and instead of having a bank pre-fund an account at the other bank, which is how correspondent banking works today. The Bank of Brad in dollars would pre-fund to the Bank of Julia, perhaps in pounds, and then I would debit and credit that. But that means I have to pre-fund and have dormant capital sitting at that other bank. What we allow banks to do, we allow payment providers to do, is to tap into the liquidity of XRP liquidity. So today there's lots of liquidity between XRP and US dollar. There's lots of liquidity between XRP and British pound. And you could tap into that to move value in real time, in seconds.
When can we finally expect the XRP SEC final ruling? This lawsuit has been a long and winding road, creating significant uncertainty for XRP holders and the broader crypto market. But recent developments and expert insights are shedding light on a potential timeline for its resolution. If you're an XRP investor or simply keen on understanding the regulatory landscape of cryptocurrencies, this video is for you. We'll break down the current status, analyze expert predictions, and discuss what a final ruling could mean for XRP's future. Let's dive in. The current status. A long and winding road for years, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has been a dominant narrative. In the crypto world, the SEC accused Ripple of conducting an unregistered securities offering through its sales of XRP, while Ripple has consistently argued that XRP is not a security. This legal battle has been characterized by numerous filings, hearings, and a significant amount of speculation. However, recent events suggest that we are indeed in the final stages of this protracted legal saga. One of the most significant recent developments is Ripple's announcement on June 27, 2025, of its readiness to drop its cross-appeal. Move is a strong indicator that Ripple believes a resolution is imminent and that they are confident in the existing rulings that have largely favored them. While this is a positive sign, it's crucial to understand that the SEC has yet to formally withdraw its appeal. This means that, technically, the appeal remains open until the SEC takes official action. Another key point is the denial by Judge Torres of a joint request from both Ripple and the SEC to end the case early too. This decision, made on June 26, 2025, indicates that the judge wants the full legal process to play out, ensuring a comprehensive and final resolution rather than a premature settlement. While this might seem like a delay, it ultimately aims for a more definitive outcome that could provide clearer guidance for the entire crypto industry. Expert predictions. When will it end? So, with all these moving parts, what are the experts saying about when we can actually expect a final ruling? The consensus among legal analysts and crypto commentators points towards a resolution in the near future, with some specific timelines being highlighted. Former SEC lawyer Marc Fagel has been a consistent voice of reason throughout this process. He has clarified that while the XRP community is eager for an immediate resolution, the internal processes within the SEC move at a deliberate pace. Fagel emphasized that it typically takes 1 to 2 months for the SEC Commission to vote on an enforcement recommendation. 3. This means that even with Ripple's willingness to drop its cross-appeal, the official withdrawal from the SEC requires this internal vote, which has not yet occurred. Until this vote happens, the appeal technically remains open. However, several sources and analysts are pointing to mid-August as a likely timeframe for the SEC vote and the ultimate closure of the case. 4. This prediction is based on the current trajectory of the case and the typical duration of the SEC's internal review processes. While this is not a guaranteed date, it provides a more concrete expectation for those eagerly awaiting the outcome. Once the SEC completes its internal process and approves the withdrawal, both parties will jointly notify the court. At that point, Judge Torres's previous rulings and penalties will fully take effect, officially closing the case. Fagel's explanation serves as a reality check, reminding everyone that while the legal endgame is in motion, it won't happen overnight. The wheels of regulatory enforcement turn slowly, but they do turn, and it's important to note that while some earlier predictions suggested a resolution in March or June 2025, those timelines have passed without a definitive end. This underscores the unpredictable nature of legal proceedings, especially when dealing with complex regulatory frameworks in a nascent industry like cryptocurrency. However, the current sentiment, backed by insights from former SEC officials, strongly suggests that the final ruling is indeed on the horizon, with mid-August being a frequently cited period for significant movement. Implications of the final ruling. What it means for XRP and crypto. The final ruling in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit will have profound implications, not just for XRP, but for the entire cryptocurrency industry. A favorable outcome for Ripple, which appears increasingly likely, could usher in a new era of regulatory clarity and institutional adoption. Regulatory clarity for the crypto market. If the SEC officially withdraws its appeal and the existing rulings stand, it would set a significant precedent. The court has already ruled that XRP, when sold on exchanges, is not a security. This distinction is crucial, as it provides a clearer legal framework for how digital assets are classified and regulated in the United States. Such clarity is desperately needed by crypto projects, exchanges, and investors, as it reduces the regulatory uncertainty that has stifled innovation and investment in the past. It could encourage more traditional financial institutions to engage with cryptocurrencies, knowing that there is a defined legal pathway. Impact on XRP price and adoption. For XRP specifically, a definitive end to the lawsuit is expected to be a major bullish catalyst. The legal cloud has undoubtedly suppressed XRP's price and limited its adoption in certain markets. With the uncertainty removed, XRP could see increased liquidity, renewed interest from institutional investors, and potentially a significant price surge. Furthermore, Ripple's partnerships and its vision for cross-border payments, which have been somewhat hampered by the lawsuit, could accelerate rapidly. More banks and financial institutions might be willing to integrate Ripple's on-demand liquidity (ODL) solution, which utilizes XRP, once the legal risks are mitigated. Precedent for other altcoins. The outcome of this lawsuit will also serve as a benchmark for other altcoins facing similar regulatory scrutiny. Many projects have been watching the Ripple case closely, as its resolution could provide a roadmap for their own legal battles or regulatory compliance efforts. A win for Ripple could empower other crypto projects to challenge the SEC's broad assertions of jurisdiction over digital assets, potentially leading to a more innovation-friendly regulatory environment in the U.S. The future of crypto regulation. Ultimately, the XRP SEC final ruling will be a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate about cryptocurrency regulation. It will likely force regulators to adopt more nuanced and tailored approaches to digital assets, moving away from a one-size-fits-all securities framework. This could lead to the development of clearer guidelines, fostering a more mature and stable crypto market.